Today we are very excited to be giving you a tour of our fully decorated custom tiny house bathroom.
Welcome back to our channel. We're Steph and Katie, a married couple from Canada with a remote waterfront property on one of the Gulf Islands here in BC. We bought this bare lot 3 years ago, and this past summer we finally had our brand new custom-built tiny house delivered to the property. Our tiny house is a 37.5-foot tiny home on wheels with over 300 square feet of living space. Its unique layout has a main floor bedroom, a spacious bathroom, full kitchen, dinette seating, a comfortable living room, and 2 loft spaces. We fully customized the design and also did tons of upgrades to make it a true luxury home.
So the bathroom in our tiny house is definitely a space we wanted to prioritize. I wanted to make sure it didn't feel too small. I wanted to make sure it had those kind of luxury touches so that it didn't feel like you're in an RV bathroom. And we put a lot of thought into it, and overall I'm so happy with how it turned out.
Because of the way it's situated in the tiny home and you have to go through it in order to get to the bedroom or from the bedroom to the rest of the house, it is very much an unavoidable space. That's another reason why we wanted to make it kind of fun, just have it be a bit more of a statement.
And I'm really happy we decided to go with the larger size for our tiny house. So we're at 37.5 feet in length. And the main reason for that was because we wanted to have a proper size bathroom. You can fit a full-size tub in here. We decided to do a walk-in shower. We have lots of storage, we have lots of space, and overall I am genuinely so happy with this space. So let's give you a little tour. Okay, so kicking things off, in our bathroom, we have a barn door on this side. This is what opens up into our entryway and our kitchen. You can see that the ceilings in here are lower because our storage loft is up above the bathroom, but I still think it's a really nice space. We have this beam detail up above, and then the walls, we have the white shiplap, which is what we did throughout the rest of the house as well. So starting here at our vanity, we upgraded the countertops to a quartz countertop, the same as what we did in the kitchen. It looks really beautiful, and it's also just very durable, easy to keep clean, and I think it's something that's going to last a really long time. And it also just gives a really nice luxury look to the bathroom, which is what we were going for. On the vanity here, we have our vessel sink. I think this is such a good size sink for a small bathroom. It really doesn't feel like you're in a tiny house. I was so concerned that we would end up with a tiny bathroom that feels like you're in an RV, and it just doesn't feel like that at all. We also did all black hardware in here, so we have our matte black faucet, which I think looks really nice, and we just did black details to keep everything cohesive, both in the bathroom and throughout the home. So on the wall by the vanity, we have our main switches for the light and also for a bathroom fan, which really helps to just clear out some of the humidity in here, which can be a concern in a tiny house. And along with that, we have the control panel for our air exchanger unit, which also helps with humidity in the home. The unit itself is, well, we have 2 on either side of the house, so one is in the bedroom and one is on the opposite side, but the control panel is here in the bathroom. On this wall, we also added a towel hook here. So this is for our hand towel, and we just added this with 3M tape, so we didn't want to drill into the walls in here, but I think this is the perfect spot for a hand towel. And then my favorite feature of the bathroom, which is something I felt very strongly about, which was having good lighting in the bathroom. And so we actually integrated our lighting into this beautiful vanity that does open up, so it's also storage. But on the front here, you have controls for the light, on and off. You can also change the temperature to be cool, warm, or neutral. And then this one here is a defog, which is really handy when you get out of the shower. And then inside here, we have tons of storage for skincare. Personally, I love doing my skincare routine. It's like how I start my day and end my day. So I love this spot. And in general, I'm just so happy with our vanity space. I feel like we have lots of countertop space for our soap and little decorative bits here. We have an outlet here as well.
The vanity space in the bathroom turned out so beautifully, and the luxury upgrades we added were well worth it. Upgrading the countertops in both the kitchen and here in the bathroom was $2,000 total. It was definitely one of the pricier customizations we went with, but we're so glad we did it. Adding the custom mirror cabinet with the integrated lighting was only a $650 upgrade, and it's one of our favorite features of this space. Having the additional storage is so useful, and the extra details really make it feel like such a nice luxury piece. Okay, so moving on to the space near the vanity here, we decided to extend our oak floor throughout the house. So instead of doing a separate kind of tile in the bathroom, we wanted to have the flooring be cohesive. Another nice feature about the bathroom floor is we do have in-floor heating throughout the house. The control panel for that is actually in the bedroom, but it makes the floor nice and toasty warm. So when you get out of the shower on a cold day, you have nice warm toasty floors, and it's such a nice feature. We went with a nice bath mat that complements the colors in our shower. We think this pink looks really nice, and it's just a nice little another fun detail. So we keep this mat in front of the sink when we're not using the shower, and then when we are using the shower, we just pop it over to the other side. That way it just kind of keeps a nice clear path through, so it doesn't feel as much like you're walking through a bathroom. So another piece that we kept cohesive throughout the entire house is doing the cabinets in this Newburyport blue, as well as having the same hardware as we do in the cabinets in the kitchen. So underneath the sink here, there is actually a really good amount of storage under here because we have the vessel sink and the plumbing doesn't take up too much space as well. So we do have like a nice open area where we can fit a lot of things. On the right side, we wanted to utilize the full height that we have because the plumbing is all over on the left. We have a really nice pull-out system. So we keep all of our cleaning products on the lower level of the pull-out here. So that really gives us a lot of space over here on the right. Over on the left, we are using storage crates for smaller things up front and then larger items in the back. Everything is super accessible, and we've got extra hair care products and skincare, as well as a hair dryer under here. In terms of the storage in here, it definitely doesn't feel like a small space, and we can absolutely fit everything we need. We're so glad we added in-floor heating throughout the house, which was a bigger splurge at $3,750. It's especially nice to have it here in the bathroom space. And this lower cabinet was included in the base model of our home, which is a really nice feature. We're really happy with the amount of storage it offers, and we had a lot of fun customizing the space to organize all of our toiletries and bathroom products. Overall, this vanity space is functioning really well for us so far.
Okay, moving over to the other side, we have this extra storage cabinet that we did above the toilet. This was an upgrade that we added on, and I'm really glad we did because we figured you just can't have too much storage in a bathroom. So the upper cabinet, similar to the upper cabinets we did in the kitchen, we did these ones in white rather than the blue. And we did the same black hardware on here, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. And we also have tons of space inside. So in here we did some small storage containers just to get all of our small products organized. We have our essential oils, extra hair care, skincare products, just kind of overflow some of our first aid stuff. And in general, it's just so nice to have a space for everything. We have tons of room in here. I really feel like we can fit everything we need. Then on the back wall here, we put 2 more towel hooks. This is where we hang our bath towels, which I think works well. So we did the same hooks over here that we just stuck on with the 3M tape rather than drilling into these walls. And we mentioned this in one of our decorating videos, but we did choose bath towels that are thinner, more of a European style, so they're a bit smaller. Obviously everyone loves a good fluffy bath towel, but they just take up so much extra space when you are storing them, hanging them, and also in the washer. So I'm really happy we went with these ones instead, and I think that they look really nice. And then over here, our quartz countertop actually extends over the back of the toilet, which I think is a really nice design choice. It's like another shelf where we can put things. So this is where we keep our tissue box and some other decorative items, our body lotion, things like that. It's just nice to have a little more counter space.
We found these bath towels at Yisk, and the style and color just fits perfectly with the home. And they tie everything together in the bathroom really nicely. And this extra storage cabinet is another upgrade we're really happy we went with. It was $1,000 to add, and it's a really good practical use of this wall space. We definitely don't regret adding so much storage in this room. So on this side of the bathroom, we have our pocket door leading into the bedroom. And this is the only design that we're not totally crazy about. One of the things with this door is that it doesn't actually stay completely closed. This is actually something that we mentioned when we did our walkthrough as a concern. We were told that the door would stay closed when the house was fully level, but unfortunately it still does kind of slide open on its own. I've tried a couple things to kind of keep the door closed without having a locking feature. One of the things that we are currently trying is a magnet that is up at the top, and it actually does work fairly well. However, is a little bit wider than the gap in the door. So it gives us a little bit of extra space that we don't really want. I think that this is a pretty good system, and maybe I will look at either kind of shaving it down so that it can be a little bit more low profile, or look at just getting a new kind of magnet system. So over here we have our toilet. This is a standard flush toilet. I know a lot of tiny homes opt for a composting toilet, especially if they're more off-grid. That was a choice that we had, that was a consideration. Because the whole house has a very luxury feel, we wanted to have a standard flush toilet and not mess around and just do it properly. We did need to put in a septic system, which we can tell you all about in another video. So similar to our towel hooks, we put in a toilet paper holder that is attached with 3M tape. Again, we didn't want to drill into any of the cabinets or the walls, and they are holding up really nicely, so I'm glad we went with that. One of the things that we added on after we got the tiny home was this cool bidet attachment to the toilet. We did just spend some time in Japan and South Korea, and if you've ever been, one of the coolest things about being there, among many things of course, but one of the things we really loved was all of the fancy toilets. So this is kind of, it's not as fancy as the toilets in Japan, but it's our little version of that. And I installed it really easily just with the water attachment in the back. There's no power to it, it's just the water attachment, so super easy to install, and it's a nice little feature. And then back here as well, we've got our toilet brush and our little garbage can here. We went with that same kind of matte black to match all of the other features and hardware. So it's a nice cohesive look and works well for the small space. Another upgrade that we did in this bathroom was upgrading both sliding doors from hollow core to solid core panel doors. This was a pretty inexpensive upgrade at only $200 per door, and they definitely feel sturdier and more high quality. All the other small touches we added, like the wall hooks and even our bidet attachment, were quite inexpensive as well.
All right, so moving on to the shower, which is such a nice feature of this bathroom. Like I said, we extended the size of our home to be able to fit a full-size shower in here. It's as long as a full-size bathtub. Again, we just didn't want a tiny little like RV shower. And this one is so beautiful. It just really adds to the luxury feel of the bathroom and the overall luxury feel of the home. So we did all custom tile in our shower and these beautiful glass doors. We did a black frame, black hardware on everything so that everything is cohesive. And our shower door actually opens both ways, which is handy. So inside the shower here, you can see how spacious it feels, which is amazing. And my favorite feature is the custom wall tile. This color is something that we came up with right away in our color scheme. We chose our nice navy blue, kind of a vintagey mustard yellow, and the third color that we came up with was this dusty rose, and we were determined to find a perfect shower tile. We knew we wanted to do a vertical subway tile for a really modern look. This is also a high variation tile, meaning that there's a lot of variation in the color. I think it's just such a beautiful feature. It just has a really like artisan hand painted look. The color is perfect and it really brings the whole bathroom together. For our fixtures in the shower, we have both the overhead rainfall and the removable shower wand. Both are super handy. These came standard in the model of the tiny house and we're really happy with them. The only thing we added here was this squeegee that we just stuck on, also in the matte black, so everything matches really well. This just helps keep things clean, and overall I'm happy we went with the black hardware. I think it just ties everything together nicely and looks really classic. So we also had them tile around the window here, and then we did a nice bright white windowsill matching the window frame. This is also just a great opportunity to have a shelf for some storage space, put extra products here. In general, I feel like we have so much storage and so much room in this shower. It feels really spacious, really comfortable, and all of that just adds to the luxury feel. The window in the shower here does also open, which helps to just clear some of the steam and some of the humidity in here. And you can't quite see it right now, but we do also have a privacy screen over the window here. Just a nice like frosted film on the glass so that you can't see inside.
We're so glad we decided to do a big walk-in shower instead of a bathtub in here. And we love how it turned out. The glass doors look so nice, and overall it's such a beautiful feature of this room. Doing this custom wall tile was actually included in the base price of our home, and we're really happy we went with both the rainfall shower head and the removable wand. Overall, this shower functions really well for us while also feeling really elevated and high-end. So the other custom tile we did in this shower is this awesome terrazzo. I love this tile so much. It encapsulates all the colors that we have in our color scheme. It's so cool and it makes this shower so fun. I absolutely love it. So we had them do the whole floor in this custom tile, and we also have a tile insert in the drain instead of one of those kind of ugly metal ones. Because we're on a septic system, it's very important what goes down the drain. So we got this drain cover just to make sure that no extra hair is getting down the drain. So because we have so much space in the shower, we wanted to put in a little bench, which is really handy for shaving legs, giving our little dog a bath. It also looks really cool. It extends the floor tile up. Again, just makes it look really fun. And it is slightly angled, so any water that gets on top, it just will drain off on its own. And the last thing we did in the terrazzo tile is this little cutout here. It's a great little spot for our bath products, more storage, and it's very functional. So like Katie mentioned, we don't have a ton of wall space for hanging towels, and we do just have those 2 hooks for our bath towels. So if we have guests coming to stay, we will need an extra spot to hang towels. So we actually got these fun little hooks that just go on the outside here of the glass, and it just gives us an extra couple hooks so we can have guest towels, and we've got the extra space to do so. Adding the custom floor tile in the shower was a $1,750 upgrade, which was well worth it in our opinion. It's such a bold feature of this bathroom, and we absolutely love how it all came together. The custom bench was also an upgrade at $750, and the cubby shelf was added at no extra cost. We're really glad we included both. We still have tons of standing room, and they really are functional additions to the space.
All right, hopefully you enjoyed that little tour of our bathroom. I am so happy with how this space turned out overall, and it's honestly one of my favorite spaces in the house.
Having the bathroom be fun and colorful, it's just really nice, especially because it is such a high traffic area.
Yeah, we love this layout, and we're really happy that we were so thoughtful with the design because it feels, like you said, it feels fun. It's not boring. It's beautiful. It matches the vibe of the rest of the house really nicely, and I just love all the extra little touches that we've put in.
Yeah, and hopefully that gives you a bit of an idea of things you can do in a tiny house. You know, you can have some fun with it, and hopefully that gives you a little bit of inspiration.
Yeah, I think it's a great reminder that you can still do a luxurious space in a small space. So just because it's a tiny house doesn't mean it still can't be a luxury bathroom. If anyone is thinking of doing something like this, or just a small space in general, I would recommend just really thinking about your priorities for the space, how you like to use it day to day, what's important to you. And for us, it was about having tons of storage, room to put everything so that it stays clean and not cluttered, and just a really beautiful, luxurious shower. And I feel like we achieved that.
I think we definitely achieved that. So this was the first space that we feel is completed, and we've done all the things, we've decorated, and we've fully finished it. And so we wanted to give you this tour to kind of show you a completed space in our tiny house. Let us know if you want us to show you more rooms as we go, and we can kind of do tours as we finish the spaces. And make sure you're subscribed so you can catch all those videos in the future. And thank you so much for watching.